Hi, all, welcome to Tritee Technologies and also DevOps Factory. Whoever have not subscribed, please subscribe and also join Telegram channel. Search for Tritee Technologies in this Telegram channel. You will find our channel and you will get a lot of information there. And also, if you have any queries, post there so that uh, people will be replying you back. There are 8,000 members already joined, so it's a very active community. So if you have any queries, post there so that someone will get back to your queries. And also, if you know any answers, please respond to the queries whoever have posted so that we can have a greater community with very much live response to the people. Okay, so we are doing bash. Okay, so we have already done one session and I hope you guys have watched that session and you know what exactly the bash or shell script is all about and what kind of shells we have, how you can switch between the shells. Okay, so we have already discussed all that stuff. Okay, so we here in this session we'll try to talk about basic bash shell commands. Okay, so we'll try to see how we can interact with the shell. Okay, so we'll see bash commands. So basic bash commands first. Okay, so we'll see basic bash commands and how what all the things we'll try to cover is how we interact with the shell and also how we'll be using this manuals. Okay, so bash manuals. Okay, so which we have already seen. Okay, so in the first session, like how you check and how you will be checking the bash script, like what type of bash you are using, right? So whenever we are starting our shell into the etc password. Okay, so you guys can go and check that and also how you can check the bash manual. Bash manual is nothing but your manual pages, like I've already shown you, like how you can go and check the man pages for with respect to the command. Okay, so if you want to see any command, how you go and interact with that. And also we have seen the hierarchy of the file system in this, and also you guys have already got a clear picture, like I've already shown you like how we can go and check in the file systems into the Linux box. I've already shown you like by logging into the box. Okay, so we'll see basic commands now, like we have already seen those. So I've already shown you like how you can traverse between the directories. So if you want to traverse between the directories, you need to use something called cd. Okay, so change directory. Okay, so like how you go and change your directories in the Windows box, like in the GUI you go to C drive, D drive, E drive, right? So that here you need to use your cd. Okay, so it's a command called cd, that is change directory. For example, if I want to change my directory between USR, or if I want to check what all the things I'm in, which directory I'm in. Okay, so we'll see all those commands. Okay, so let me log into this box. Okay, so this is my Ubuntu box. Let me log in. I will just give my password here. Okay, so here I've already shown you like how to get your terminal. Just say open terminal. Okay, so let me log into my root account. Okay, so I'm into my root account now. Okay, so now for example, if I want to change my directory to anything, like for example, if I want to move to the USR bin. Okay, so I'll just say like cd. Okay, so cd is nothing but I'm changing the directory. I'm nothing but I'm changing my directory and I'm giving the root. Okay, so slash is nothing but your root directory. In root directory, we are going into the USR. Within the USR, we are moving into the directory called bin. Okay, so we can call it as subdirectory. Okay, so bin is our subdirectory. So how you will check, for example, if I'm going like here, it is showing you that this is in slash usr slash bin, but in some of the prompts it won't show. Okay, so here it's very easy for you to check on what are the things you are in. Okay, so if I go into the CentOS, okay, so it might not show you this prompt. Okay, so let me log into the CentOS and we'll try to do everything in the CentOS instead of Ubuntu. Okay, now I'm into my CentOS box. So if I okay, so now I'm into my CentOS box. Okay, so if you see here, there's a tilde symbol here. Okay, so tilde symbol is nothing but we are into our home directory. So how you can check that? I can see that pwd is my present working directory or print working directory. Okay, so print working directory is slash root, or else if I go with slash, if I go to slash usr slash bin. Okay, so now it is showing only as bin. Okay, and also if I go to any directory, okay, so for example, I'm going into the directory called dummy. So now you cannot say that in which directory I'm into it. It might be slash home, slash etc, slash var, slash tm, whatever it might be, okay. But if I want to know where I am, I can go with the pwd, nothing but print working directory or present working directory. It will just show like usr bin dummy, okay. So I'm into my usr bin directory, okay. So it is clearly showing that where I am in, okay. So it is called as present working directory, okay. So it will show you which directory you are currently working on, which directory you are into it, okay. So it is always a good habit to use the pwd command whenever you change to the new present working directory, because many shell commands operate on the same working or on the present working directory only. You always want to make sure you are in the current directory or the correct directory before issuing a command, okay. So it is always important to use this command to know in which working directory you are in, okay. So next we'll see, like for example, if I wanted to move into another directory from here, for example, I will say var log, okay. So if I want to know, if I want to quickly know what and where I am in, I just say pwd, okay. And also if I want to go into the home directory now, okay. So what I'll do, I'll just say cd, okay. So cd just takes me to the home directory, okay. So if you see here tilde symbol, if I say pwd, it will just show me that I'm into the slash root, nothing but my home directory, okay. So for example, like if you are working within your home directory structure, okay, so you'll be using absolute directory references like slash home slash my name or slash home slash username, okay. So for example, if I want to move into any home directory, for example, I'll go to home directory, I'll say directory, and also I'll say documents, okay. So if it is there, it will move me, or else it will say nothing is there, or else if I say documents, it just moves me into the documents, okay. So this is how we can move into the uh, directory within the absolute path, okay. So if you want to go into the absolute path, you can use this way, okay. So this is absolute, this is what absolute path is nothing but, okay. So we are giving everything, okay. So we are giving from the root directory to the folder or the subdirectory you want to move into it. What is the relative directory references? Relative directory references is nothing but, for example, if I am already into the home directory of directory, for example, if I am into the home directory of directory, okay. So now if I want to go into the documents, I'll just say cd documents, okay. So this is the relative reference. Otherwise, what if I want to go into the absolute reference, I would say slash home slash directory slash documents, okay. So this is the absolute path. So I'm directly going into this path. If I want to go into the relative, what is the relative reference, okay. So if someone says what is the relative reference, like you are going into that directory and you are just listing like what are the things available, then you will see in which directory you want to go, then you will go into that directory, okay. So for example, if I want to go into the downloads, okay, so now I'm going into the downloads, okay. So this is very simple, okay. So how you want to move, how you want to get, if I go to cd again, it will just move me to the home directory, okay. So these are all the basic commands, okay, you have to know before you are going into any shell scripting, okay. So if you are very new to the command line and the Linux directory structure, it is always recommended that you stick with absolute directory references, okay, so that it will be very easy for you to practice and it is very easy for you to move on into the Linux, so that you will get a very good hands-on into the Linux. Then you can go with the relative path, because you will be very much familiar with the directory structure, you know where which file is locating in which directory and all that stuff. But if you are very beginner, okay, so it is always good that you are using your absolute paths, okay, so that you will be very much habituated, like you, if you want to move into the any directory, you can easily move on, okay. So next basic command is ls. I'm using it very regularly, right? So you might know, you might be asking like what is this ls command is doing, okay. So ls command is the one which is a basic form to display your files and directories, okay. So nothing but it is listing all the files and directories. For example, if I say ls, it is just listing all the files and directories within my directory. If I see what is my present working directory, I'm into the slash root. In slash root, I have all these files and directories within my within my directory, okay. So ls command is always like producing a listing in alphabetical order. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so A, C, D, E, H, J, K, O, P. Okay, so it is always in a alphabetical order. Okay, and also if you want to list, okay, so if you use something called -f, okay, so it will just shows you like what is the file and what is the directory. For example, if I say ls-f, okay, so if you see here, if it is slash, if it is showing you slash, it is a directory, otherwise it's a file. Okay, so if you want to know within ls command, okay, otherwise you can also expand this. Okay, you can expand this with ls -l. I'll just show you that also. But if you want to go with the ls command only, if you want to see how if you have a huge list and if you don't want to scroll up and down, you can go with ls-f. And also there is something called hidden files in the Linux. Okay, so how you go and check the hidden files? Okay, so there is a command with ls-a. So whatever the file starts with dot in the Linux, okay, that will be hidden. Okay, so nothing but if I do ls, okay, so we are not seeing any file or directory with the starting with the dot. Otherwise, if I say ls-a, here if you see dot bash underscore profile, dot bash rc, dot cache, dot config, dot git config, dot history. Okay, so if you see, these are all the hidden files. Okay, so whenever I am going with ls command, it won't show all this stuff. But if I am going with the ls-a, it is just showing me all all those hidden files. Okay, so someone might be asking you in the interviews, if you are a fresher or if you are having 1 or 2 years of experience, they'll definitely ask like how to see the hidden files in the Linux. Okay, so you can go with ls-a. Okay, so all the files which are starting with the dot, or you can say period, these are the hidden files. Okay, and also if you want to see the things in a way, like if I go with ls-, let me go with Control L first. I'll just clear my screen. ls-f-r. Okay, so if you see here, it is just showing everything in a proper manner. Okay, so if I just scroll up, okay, so it just R, when I'm giving R is nothing but recursive nothing but it is showing me the file or directory and also the subdirectories within it and also the files within it. Okay, so it is just showing me the in a recursive manner. Okay, so there are a lot of Ruby files. Okay, so it's very clumsy here, but anyway, so when I'm going with the -r option, so what it is showing me the directory with the subdirectory and also files within the directory. So it will just show in the recursive manner, but we don't have to be doing it regularly. And also if I go with ls-lr, okay, it's not recommended, it's not required that you have to go with -l-r like this stuff. Okay, you can go with -f and r. So you can directly go with -fr instead of that. Okay, so it's like with one hyphen you can go for any further options. Okay, so now if I want to list the files, okay, we can say it as long listing. Okay, if I say ls-l, okay, so this is nothing but a long listing file. So what are the things it is showing? Okay, so in the long listing file, each file and directory on a single line. Okay, so it is showing on a single line along with the file name. The listing shows additional useful information also, if you see here. Okay, so it shows you of the file type. So file type is nothing but whether it is a file or it is a directory. Okay, and also if you have any linked files, it will show it as L. Okay, and also if you have any character device, it will show as C, and if you have any block device, it will show as B. Okay, but majorly it is always important to remember when you are running as a Linux administrator, D hyphen and L are very important. That is directory, file and linked files. Okay, so next it shows the permissions of the file. Okay, so we'll talk more on permissions of the files. Okay, but this is the permission of the file, and it is also showing the owner. Okay, so it is showing you the owner of the file and also the group name. Okay, so this is the owner and this is the group name, and also it is showing me the number of bytes. Okay, so size. Okay, size in bytes. So the reason why you are seeing a huge file here. Okay, so because this is in byte size. Okay, and also the last time the file was modified and the time when it is modified and the file name or the directory name. Okay, so this is the directory name, this is the file name. Okay, so this is how it is segregated, or this is how it is shown when you are going with the ls-l. Okay, so but if you want to view the long listing for only one file also, you can simply track that file. How you can do that? You can go with ls-l, or you can go with ls-ld and that directory name or a file name. Okay, okay, so it's just showing me only the one file, like I just wanted to see only one file's characteristics. Okay, so one more example or one more command is like, if you want to filter out the listing output. Okay, so for example, if I want to create something called, I will just create some files. Okay, so I'll say fall, fell, and full fill. Okay, so I'm just creating some files. If I do ls, okay, so here I have these four files been created. Okay, so fall, fell, full, and fill. Okay, so these four files have been created. And also if I want to create something called touch try-tree technologies underscore script, I'll say try-tree technologies underscore scrapped, or try-tree technologies underscore file. Okay, I'm just creating three files. So now if I want to filter this out, okay, so for example, if I say ls-l try-tree technologies underscore script, okay, so it's just showing me the same file. Okay, so but if I wanted to use something, okay, so I wanted to see all the files which are starting with try-tree technologies. Okay, so I can use asterisk, or I can use question mark. Okay, so for example, if I go with ls-l and I'll say try-tree technologies underscore, I'll say scr question mark pt. Okay, so now if you see here with this question mark, okay, so it is just asking like whatever the character is there in this, it has to display. Okay, so now it is just displaying the script and scrap. Okay, so here I have given a, here I have given I. Okay, but it is displaying all the files. And also if I am using something called ls-l ttt star, okay, so it just shows me all the files which are starting with the ttt. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so because whenever you are writing any scripts, okay, so this will be very useful for you, like how you can get all that information. Or else if I go with ls-l, I will say my underscore ttt underscore s, and I'll say star with t. Okay, so if you see here, starting with s and ending with t. Okay, and also it has to display everything in between. Okay, so it's just displaying my two files. Okay, so this is how you can get the things done. Okay, and also if you want to have two lines, like for example, if I want to see, I'll say control L. Okay, so I'll say ls-l and I'll say ttt underscore scr IAPT. Okay, so if you see here, I can use this way also. Instead of star, I can go with I and A. Okay, so if I'm using this, it is just showing me all the two files which are coming with which are with A, and also which are with I. Okay, so this is how we can do. And also with the same, this one I'll say ls. Okay, so f star ll, it just shows me all the things which are with this. Okay, and also if I want to ignore any file, okay, so for example, if I say f5 ls-l, and if I say f, and I don't want the full file to be shown, okay, so I'll just say exclamatory u. Okay, and I'll say ll. Okay, so it's just showing me fall, fell, fill, but it's not showing me full because I'm asking this not to get the u. Okay, so letter u. Okay, so except letter u, I'm asking to display all the letters which are available. Okay, so it's just displaying me all the letters available. Okay, so this is how you can filter out things. Okay, so if you want to filter out the things, okay, and how you will handle the files. Okay, so handling the files is also very important. And also, if someone is asking me to give the notes of all this, I don't have. Okay, so I'm just doing it on the fly. Okay, so if you guys want to have a notes, please prepare it or by yourself. Just do a documentation or just write it down on a paper or a book and just keep it with yourself, so that it will be very helpful. Like these are the basic commands. Okay, so you guys will try to practice more so that you will get lots of hands on. Okay, so but just try to write it down. Okay, so I'm not preparing any notes as such, and I'm not giving that in any notepad. Okay, so make sure that you guys just prepare by yourself. Okay, so I don't have time to prepare that documents as such. Okay, so that is the reason why I always do on the fly. Okay, so we'll talk about handling the files. Okay, so how are you handling files is nothing but how you create the files. Okay, how you copy files, all that stuff. Okay, so how you create a file, I just shown you before, right? Okay, already I've shown you that there is a command called touch. Okay, so touch is a command where it will create the empty files. For example, I'll say touch test. Okay, so it just created me a empty file. Okay, so I'll just say ls-l test. Okay, so if you see here, it's a empty file, 0 bytes. Okay, and also it is a file because it is showing as a hyphen. Okay, so the touch command is always creates a new file. You specify with the assigned name. Okay, so whatever the name you have given, it will just create that file. Okay, so if you see here, it shows July 11th 6:42. Okay, so time is showing as July 11th 6:42. If I do again a touch test, okay, so what just happened here, it just changed the time. Okay, so it just changed the time. If you want to change the time without changing the file, okay, you can do the uh, touch again. Okay, so it is nothing but you are modifying the file, okay, to change the time of that file. Okay, so this is how you can do. This is one of the simple tricks. Okay, so to change the file times, okay, so it's just you need to touch the file again. Okay, so it is always important that creating empty files and altering file timestamp is nothing, is not something you will do on a Linux system daily. Okay, so but one more important thing which is there, or one more important command that is used very regularly or oftenly you are using is copying files. Okay, so how you will copy the files? Okay, so to copy the files, the command is cp, and you need to give your source file and you need to give the destination to get the file copied. Okay, so this is one of the commands. Okay, so cp space source space destination, nothing but your source file to the destination wherever you want to move this. Okay, so let us create something. Okay, so or let us say we have okay, so I'll say cp, we have created test, right? So I'll just say test and I'll say test 1. Okay, so now if I say cp test 1, so now what I'll do, I'll say ls-l and I'll say test and also test 1. Okay, so if you see here, I have two files, nothing but I have a copy of test with the name test1. Okay, so I'm copying it. Okay, so to the same destination, nothing but I'm into the, if I say pwd, I'm in the root directory. Okay, so I'm just copying it in the same destination. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, so whenever you are seeing this, the timing, so if you see the time, it's different. Okay, so test we have created at 6:43 and the copy is at 6:45. Okay, so this is very important that whenever you are doing it or whenever you are copying it, it just changes the time of that file also. Okay, and also if you don't want to copy it forcefully, you can do cp-i and you can say test to test 2. Okay, so sorry, again I'll go with test 1. Okay, so here it is asking me to overwrite the test 1. Okay, so if you have anything on the test 1, again it will copy back. Okay, so it will overwrite whatever there in that test 1. Okay, so let us do with an example. Okay, so for example, if I have something on the test 1, okay, so I'll just enter like India. Okay, so now I have something in test 1. If I say cat test 1, I have something data in it. Okay, so Now I'll try to copy -I test to test1. Okay, so it is just asking me to overwrite. I'll say Y and I'll say enter. Okay, now if I go and check in cat test1, I don't have anything. Okay, nothing but the content will be overwritten. Okay, so whenever you want to overwrite, you can go with the Y. Okay, so nothing but we are saying it as yes. If you don't want to do that, you can go with N. Okay, so N is nothing but it is no. Okay, so it is always important that whenever you are copying, okay, so for example, again I'm going to copy this test to the TMP. Okay, so I cannot give TMP directly, it won't work because it will say TMP no such file or directory. But if I say slash, okay, so slash on the destination directory name, okay, so it is always using a slash to indicate that this is a directory, okay, and it's not a file. Okay, so now if I do slash slash tmp slash, sorry, what I'm doing here, okay, home cp test to the slash tmp. Okay, so here again I'll just remove this and I'll show you. So what it has done, it has created something called tmp here. Okay, but I don't want to create a file with tmp, I want to copy to directory. So how I can do that, I'll say cp test slash tmp. Okay, so if I am using slash is nothing but, okay, it is indicating that I am moving it to a directory. Okay, so slash tmp is a directory and this is not a file. Okay, so now if I enter, okay, so it is went to the slash tmp and I'll say test. Okay, so there is no data in it, no content in it, but I have a file. I just didn't throw any error. If I say test111, it's just no such file or directory because we don't have any file. But here test we have copied into the slash tmp. Always remember that whenever we are giving slash, nothing but it is a directory where we are trying to copy it. Okay, so it is always important. Okay, so this is how you can move, or this is how you can copy the files. Okay, so it's a simple example like how you can copy the files. For example, if you want to create a directory, for example, or else what I'll do, I'll just copy everything which starts with F. Okay, so here this is also one of the important thing, like if you have bunch of files which are starting with F, or if I start for the files starting with tmp, I just wanted to copy this. Okay, so I just wanted to copy these to any one of the directories. Okay, so I don't have any directory right now, so what I'll do, I'll just say mkdir dummy. Okay, now I'll say copy ttt star and I'll say dummy. Okay, so if you see here, it is just showing me the forward slash, nothing but this is a directory within the directory where we are copying. Okay, so now if I do enter, okay, now I'll go to dummy and I'll say ls. So all the files which are starting with ttt has been copied here. Okay, this is a simple thing, but this is always important when you are executing your shell scripts. Okay, whenever you are moving a bunch of files, like how you move those bunch of files and how that works. Okay, so next thing is the completion of your command line. Okay, so you might have already seen that I'm not entering all the what do you say, commands. Like if I say GRE, okay, so there are a group of commands which have got. Okay, so if I say GRE, it is just giving me grep. Okay, so how I'm doing this? Okay, so this is nothing but whenever you want to complete the command, or if you have a huge file, or if you want to get into that file automatically. For example, I'll just say touch and I'll say India is my country, I'm proud. Okay, India is my country, I'm proud. Okay, so now I'm just creating this. Okay, so every time I cannot enter this file name. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just say cat in. Okay, so how I got it? Okay, so without, if I type something, if I wanted to type everything, I might do mistake. Okay, so in Linux you have something which is nothing but auto completion, or you can say completion of your command line. How you will do that? Using tab. Okay, so again I'll just say cat. If I do only I, okay, it's just giving me India is my country, I'm proud. But if I have something with cat touch India, okay, so now if I'm having two files which are starting with India. Now if I say cat I, okay, so it's just giving me India, and if I do one more tab, it just shows me like how many files are there. Now I'll go with underscore, then I'll say tab. Okay, so again it's just completing all my file name. Okay, so this is very important for you guys to know whenever you are typing. Okay, so try to use tab as much as possible so that it will do a auto completion instead of typing it all along. Okay, so next thing is linking files. Okay, so how you link these files? If you guys want everything what I'm teaching here is okay, so all these are a basic shell commands. Okay, so but if you want to know it in depth, and if you want to know what exactly it is, how it is doing, you guys can watch the RHCSA Linux playlist, which is in Telugu. But if you want to have this in English, we have something called DevOps Factory channel. Okay, so if you can go into the DevOps Factory, I've already started the Linux in English. Okay, so you guys can go and watch there, but still it is in progress. Okay, so we have only done 3 or 4 sessions. I've done only 3 or 4 sessions. I'll just try to complete that also. Okay, so you guys can go and watch there, because linking the files, and when I'm talking about symbolic files and all that stuff. Okay, so I'm just giving you an overview kind of, and also you can directly go into the interviews with these commands also. Okay, so you can directly go into the interviews with these commands. But if you want to know in depth of what these things will do, definitely you need to watch those sessions. Okay, so we'll talk about linking files. Okay, so linking files are of two types. One is symbolic link and one is hard link. Okay, so these linking files we'll discuss in the next session, because it's already been 30 minutes. Okay, so we thought of doing only 20 minutes per session. Okay, so we'll talk about linking files in the next session. Okay, so yeah, have a great day, and have a great week ahead, and keep practicing. Okay, so if you don't practice Linux, you cannot be a master of it. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and have a great day.